Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another video. It is the weekly news roundup video, the show where we sit down on a Friday and talk about all of the latest Everton news from the last 7 days or so. Transfer deadline day was on Monday and Everton brought in 2 new players. First of all, young Norwich defender Ben Godfrey signed on a 5-year contract worth around £20 million plus add-ons. The 22-year-old will join up with Everton Football Club and Carlo Ancelotti after the international break, and he looks to be a really smart signing for the football club. Young, versatile, fantastic stats in the Premier League last season for Norwich. Really good player, right attitude, looks to be a top talent and a lot of potential for the future. We actually sat down this evening and spoke about Ben Godfrey and what exactly he will bring to Everton Football Club and how he will improve this team. We spoke about where he fits in within the system as well. Look, I think he's a fantastic young player, definitely a player for the future. However, somebody that could step in now and do a job as well. Big, strong, physical, central defender. Somebody that, like I said, looked really good in the Premier League last season. And a Norwich side that wasn't very good for large parts of the Premier League season. He looked really good, really assured, confident on the ball, right attitude, right mentality, and for £20 million, a 22-year-old centre-back looks to be a very good signing for Everton Football Club. Big, strong, physical lad as well. Good going forward as well, good with his feet, likes to play the ball out, played in central defensive midfield as well. Like we said, very versatile player, scored a couple of fantastic goals as well, one against Leicester, I believe it was, last season, which was an absolute peach. So he was the first of Everton signings on deadline day. The second, that was at 9 o'clock in the morning, by the way. Ben Godfrey signed at about 9 o'clock in the morning officially. We knew it was going to happen. It had been rumoured for a few days. The second signing was, of course, Robin Olsen, 30-year-old Swedish goalkeeper on loan from Roma. He has joined Everton Football Club on a season-long loan deal. That deal was announced just after 11 PM. Must have just gone through literally bang on the deadline. The keeper's coming in to hopefully provide some competition for Jordan Pickford, some much-needed competition for Jordan Pickford. Look, I don't want to sit here and write Robert Olsen off. For me, the hope is that if Jordan Pickford isn't performing and isn't putting in performances at a good enough level and continues to make silly mistakes and, put us in stupid situations, then Robin Olsen is good enough to step in and take over that role and become the #1 goalkeeper. Obviously, he's been brought in to provide some stronger competition than what Jonas Lazel or João Virginia was providing. He has come in on a season-long loan deal, Swedish international, played at a very high level in World Cups as well, obviously played for Roma in Europe as well at a high level. So again, for me, it's a good signing for Everton Football Club. Hopefully he can come in and have an impact on the side, if anything, just to give Jordan Pickford that kick up the arse. But for the idea for me is that, he can step in if need be. And obviously, I don't think he's been brought in to replace Jordan Pickford, if I'm being honest with you. But if he makes Jordan Pickford think, hang on, I've got a little bit of competition here, I need to step my game up, then that works in Everton's favour, of course. Moving on to internationals now. It has, of course, been an international break this week. The internationals started off on Wednesday with Tom Davies starting for England under-21s in their 3-3 draw with Andorra. He actually scored a fantastic goal. Tom Davies, really good goal. It was an absolute rocket in the 45th minute. Ben Godfrey was also a part of that England under-21 squad on Wednesday, but he didn't feature in the game. He was an unused substitution. Robin Olsen also was a substitution for Sweden yesterday. I don't believe he come on or featured in that game. Luca Dean played 90 minutes for France on Wednesday night in their 7-1 victory over Ukraine. Again, good minutes for Luca Dean and no fitness issues there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin made his England debut last night. He was given the go-ahead by Gareth Southgate and given the number 9 shirt for his country. Dom has, of course, spoke very fondly over the last couple of days or so about this opportunity to be called up to the national squad and about how he hopes to take it and pay that back to the manager, and how his hard work is finally starting to be recognised. And boy, did Dominic Calvert-Lewin pay that opportunity back. It only took him about 15-20 minutes to score his first England goal. Really good play down that right hand side by Jack Grealish, a good ball in, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, listen, I say it every time I watch him play football club for Everton. If the ball's going into the box at height and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's in the box, it's only going in one place, and that's the back of the net. Dominic Calvert-Lewin finds it with his head. Fantastic goal. He was taken off after around 55 minutes in that game. I did have a slight worry because I'm an Evertonian, and when your player gets taken off at such an early point in the game when they're playing well, you sort of just think, oh my God, is he injured? But it turns out that Dom didn't have an injury. He was just taken off. He was asked after the game, and he said that he doesn't know why. He was asked whether it's because he will play on Saturday. And he said, look, I don't know yet. That decision isn't mine, but I'm ready to play if need be. So, fantastic debut for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, massively, massively proud of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's had a fantastic start to the season so far. 10 goals in all games that he's played so far. Top goal scorer in the Premier League. Already scored a hat-trick this season. 2 hat-tricks, I believe. Fantastic performances. And he's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? He's been absolutely exquisite. And again, another really, really good performance for England last night. Michael Keane also featured in that game. I believe Michael Keane played the 90 minutes. Didn't score, didn't assist, but he did play quite solid at centre-back. Jordan Pickford was an unused substitution last night as well. Gylfi Sigurdsson played for Iceland and helped Iceland to a 2-1 victory over Romania. That was in the playoffs for the Euros. Iceland will now go into the Euro playoff final. Gylfi scoring both goals for Iceland yesterday. 2 really, really good goals. One cutting in from the left-hand side and putting it to sort of the keeper's left. And another really, really cool finish again from that left-hand side. Look, I think, as much as we talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin and the start that he has had to the Premier League season and how well he has done so far, and we talk about James Rodriguez, and we talk about Alan and Abdoulaye Doucouré and all of the new players, I do think it's important to talk about Gylfi Sigurdsson as well and give him praise when it's due. Gylfi is, whenever he's been asked to come in this season, whenever he's been asked to do a job, he's done a really, really good job. He's played really, really well, and of course he had a fantastic game for Iceland yesterday, scoring both of their goals and looking really, really good. So I think it's about time that, we give Gylfi Sigurdsson some credit. I think we're all very quick to jump on him when he isn't playing well or when he's putting in poor performances. So I think when he puts in a decent performance, we have to just stand here and say, you know what, you've played really, really well there. And overall this season, obviously he hasn't started many games, certainly not in the Premier League, but when he's played, when he started in the Carabao Cup, when he's been asked to come in, he's done a very, very good job. So Gylfi Sigurdsson there, fantastic to see him back on the score sheet for his country. More international news: Richarlison will play tonight for Brazil. Yerry Mina and James Rodriguez will feature for Colombia, and Alex Iwobi will feature for Nigeria as well. The Brazil and Colombian games are early hours of the morning. I think one of them is at 12:30 and the other's at something like 1:30, so you'll have to stay up pretty late to watch those. The Nigeria game is a little bit earlier on, so you should be able to catch that one. Big news. Awards news: Dominic Calvert-Lewin has won Premier League Player of the Month for September. Massively impressing, of course, with all of the goals that he has scored so far. He's had an unbelievable start to the season, and this lad's week, month, year just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Top goal scorer in the Premier League. His team's top of the league. He's got his first international call-up, first international start wearing the number 9 shirt, scores his first international goal, and then wins Premier League Player of the Month award for September. Let's be honest, nobody else was ever going to win it, worthy. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a rightly deserved winner. Fantastic. Obviously first 4 Premier League games for Everton. Brilliant in the Carabao Cup games that he's featured in as well. And he's been clinical this season. He's been absolutely clinical. You can tell he's playing with confidence. You can tell he's enjoying playing out there. You can tell he's, benefiting massively off the creativity of James Rodriguez, the creativity of Richarlison as well. And he has been rewarded with the Premier League Player of the Month award for September. That was the first award of today. Second, Carlo Ancelotti has been awarded with Manager of the Month for September as well. Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti guiding Everton to 4 straight Premier League wins. The only team in the Premier League to do that in that period of time, and of course 3 Carabao Cup wins as well. Carlo, obviously, after Dominic Calvert-Lewin picked up the award for Manager of the Month, and it's been a brilliant day. It was a fantastic night last night, to see Gylfi Sigurdsson scoring twice for his country and obviously putting them through to the playoff finals. It was brilliant to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting his goal for England. You could see how much that meant to him, and it's been another fantastic day for Everton Football Club today. Dominic Calvert-Lewin winning Player of the Month for September, Premier League Player of the Month for September, and Carlo Ancelotti winning Premier League Manager of the Month as well. Again, very similar to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There was never going to be any other manager to win this this time around. Carlo Ancelotti has been an absolute revelation for Everton Football Club. He really, really has. The players he's brought in, the style of management he has put onto the football club, and the current players, the fact that the current players who weren't performing last season are starting to perform and are actually performing at a decent level now. It just shows what a fantastic manager Carlo Ancelotti really, really is. And he won September's Manager of the Month award alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who won the Player of the Month award. A little bit of news regarding the partnership. Everton have signed a partnership with their Chilean namesake, Everton de Viña del Mar, and its owners. The agreement will see the club share knowledge in youth coaching, marketing, retail, fan-based development and talent identification. There is also opportunities for pre-season tours and friendly games to take place over in Chile. A special pre-season event was due this year, but of course was postponed due to the pandemic. We saw Everton Chile come over to Goodison Park a few years back, and we had a friendly against them at Goodison Park, so it's fantastic that there has been a new partnership. I don't think it means a massive amount financial wise. I think it's just that both clubs will now be in tight contact in regards to player development and pre-season tours and marketing and things like that. So it's fantastic for the football club, broadening our horizons, of course. After broadening them massively with the signings that we brought in this summer, we are furthering doing that with the partnership with Everton Chile, of course, which is fantastic to see. Just want to go back. I forgot to mention when talking about Carlo Ancelotti and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Carlo Ancelotti, the first Everton manager to win Manager of the Month award of the Premier League since David Moyes in March 2013. So that shows just how good of a job Carlo Ancelotti has done. And I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the first Everton player to win it for years and years and years as well. Certainly the first Everton Englishman to win it for quite a long time. So fantastic achievements for both of those. One last thing I want to mention as well before we finish up is this new Premier League system that they've got going on, is to state that some fans or fans of some clubs will have to pay £14.95 to watch their clubs in a pay-per-view style service if their games aren't televised. I think the Premier League have said that a lot of games will be televised in October, but for those that aren't, fans can pay £14.95 for a single game of football. I think this is disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I think it is pricing football fans out of watching their clubs, the clubs that they've grown up supporting, the clubs that, if they could be, they'd be at the stadium watching them live every week. And I've said it for a long time now, football is slowly starting to become like the WWE, a pure entertainment business, not about the fans, not about the affiliation between the fans and the clubs and winning trophies. It's all about money, it's all about business, and this has been proven again by the fact that the Premier League think it's acceptable to put such a disgusting thing into place as to charge football fans £15 on top of what they're already paying for their Sky membership and their BT membership and their Amazon Prime membership. They're charging an extra £15 per game to watch your football club if they're not on television on that day. It's disgraceful, and I said it in the live stream when we spoke about Ben Godfrey before. I said, listen, it would not surprise me if within the next 12 to 18 months or so, Sky Sports and BT and the Premier League and Amazon and whoever else take 10 games at the start of the season and say, regardless of whether they're on telly or not, regardless of whether you can go to the stadium or not, if you want to watch this, you're paying £15 for it, and do it in a pay-per-view style like the boxing, like the wrestling. It's disgusting. It's pricing football fans out of football. It's, if anything, it's just encouraging fans to go and watch the games on illegal services because they're not paying £14.95. The Premier League had a fantastic opportunity to say, well, you know what? Okay, what we'll do is we'll charge £14.95 for a month, and you can watch every Premier League game on a streaming style Netflix kind of system where you pay £15 each month and you can go in and you can watch your club every single week whilst you can't go to the stadium. But no, there's charging £15 or £14.95 for one single game if your club's game isn't televised. It's disgusting. It's completely rinsing innocent people out of money that not a lot of people have at the moment. A lot of people are struggling due to the effects of the pandemic. A lot of people have been furloughed. A lot of people have been made redundant, and a large part of football fans, a large percentage of football fans, won't just have a spare £15 every week to throw at Sky because they don't want to televise the footy. Certain fans of certain clubs will be sound. Man United fans will probably be sound. Them lot across the park will probably be sound. Chelsea fans will probably be sound because they'll be on telly every week anyway, so they won't need to pay the extra £15. But Everton aren't on telly every week. certainly weren't on telly every week when we could go to the stadium and we could watch it. There've been a lot more now, obviously, with the current situation. But does that mean we're going to have to start paying £15 every week? It's disgraceful. It's utterly disgraceful. I didn't want to end the video on a negative note, but I did just want to mention that because it's a bit of news that's come out today. It's not specifically regarding Everton, but it will impact Everton and Evertonians, so I wanted to mention it. But there you go. That is the weekly news roundup video for today. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. We'll leave it on some positive news because I like to leave with positivity. Everton are top of the Premier League. We will remain top of the Premier League for another week, another 8 days in fact. Carlo Ancelotti's won Manager of the Month. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's won Player of the Month and is absolutely fucking boss and banging in goals left, right and centre for club and country. Ames Rodriguez is amazing. Alan and Abdoulaye Doucouré are boss. Gylfi Sigurdsson's playing really well at the moment. Yerry Mina's boss. Michael Keane's boss. Luca Dean's boss. Everyone's boss. Everton are boss. And we're top of the league. There you go. If you've enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. We'll be back on Monday, 5:15 PM for another live stream, so please do join us for that one. Big thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.